So a little cheers
a little
to
cheer
that.
to Greece and Greektown. We are here in Chicago in the West Loop. We happen to be staying maybe 5 blocks from Greektown. So we are going to do a virtual tour and tasting. So we love for you to join us and follow along.
So the idea here is to highlight one of the many ethnic communities in Chicago. And although we've lived in Chicago before for many years, it's not an area that we know really well. And so as we think about supporting local businesses, traveling through food in our own local communities, we wanted to highlight a neighborhood that we're staying close to and share it and share the experience with you.
Can't wait to show you what it looks like, what it tastes like, and what can you experience here in Greektown.
So if you haven't been to Greektown, Chicago, certainly we hope that this will entice you to check out the area and try some unique Greek specialties. So join us and have fun as we explore Greektown, Chicago.
As we walk in Greektown, we can spot Greek ornament like the flower pots. And Greektown is really a business and cultural district that runs on Halsted in Chicago. It's in between Madison Street and Van Buren Street. So Greek immigrants came to Chicago in the late 1800s and founded the Greek community known as Greektown.
The statue is named Lady of the Lake, and it is at the corner of Halsted and Monroe. It was created by a Chicago artist by the name of Carrie Fisher to celebrate beauty, grace, and strength of modern female heroes, or sheroes, as she calls them. All around the Lady of the Lake are beautiful, colorful sculptures representing lighthouses. They all have such fun and unique designs, and they're all part of a project around the beautifying of Greektown done by a local school.
In the background, we see Sears Tower, now known as Willis Tower. And as we walk in Greektown, Walgreens, the local pharmacy, has also the Greek characters.
All along Halsted Street are 22 interesting, fanciful fish sculptures. Now, the inspiration for this project comes from ancient Greek culture, where many Greeks lived close to the sea, and fish was an important source of food. The project has been done to call attention to protecting our waters and seas. And all the sculptures are unique, designed by local Greek schools, students, and teachers, as well as by local Chicago artists.
Here we arrive by Nine Muses restaurant, one of the long-standing restaurants in Greektown, and they serve a traditional Greek food.
Right in front of us is the National Hellenic Museum, which is the Greek museum in town. It's actually been around for a long time, since 1983. And interestingly enough, Chicago is home to one of the largest Greek communities in the United States. Here you can see names of people who have helped contribute to building this museum. The museum celebrates Greek culture, past, present, and future. Now, unfortunately, due to COVID, we were not able to go and visit the museum, but we do know that it has excellent exhibits showcasing stories from ancient Greece to modern day Greece.
As we walk past the National Hellenic Museum, we are at the end of Greektown on Halsted and Van Buren, and we are getting into the Elysian Field. And that's a new green space that's been added recently as part of Chicago highway reconstruction in the neighborhood. And this space is really dedicated to Greek mythology. And as we walk a bit further, we can see an art project that's been done also by the local schools to represent the Greek mythology.
Greek restaurants have been at the heart of Greektown since the 1970s all the way to the 1980s. This is Athena, one of the most popular restaurants in the area. You can see their gorgeous outdoor space, and certainly one of the fish sculptures representing Santorini in this case. As we walk on, there is a restaurant named Santorini, which also has their outdoor seating. And inside has the decor of being in Santorini. Beautiful restaurant.
And across the street there is Greek Islands. And there as well, this is a long-standing restaurant in Greektown. It's been there for 50 plus years. And with COVID, they are respecting social distancing. So having some table outside and space in between diners. And one of the also famous place in Greektown is called Mr. Greek Gyros. And it's one of these fast service place. There are a couple more also in Greektown. And they really always align there. So it's a sign that's really good Greek food.
So the gyro and saganaki, which is flaming cheese, were introduced to the U.S. from Chicago's Greektown. So that's a little tip for you.
And we are now at Artopolis. And Artopolis is one of the most popular bakery here. It's a bakery and cafe, and they also have a little market inside. So Artopolis stands for bread. When we're walking, we stumble on the famous ouzo, which is the alcohol from Greece, and then they also sell some Greek wine, some Greek pastries. Those are really tempting here. And as well in the back of Artopolis, you'll find handcrafted goods, as they mention it, Greek staples like olive oil, honey, and some other goods you can purchase.
So even with COVID, you can still eat at the restaurant. There are just a few tables open, and so we decided to order a few local specialties. We shared a Greek salad, ouzo saganaki, and a pito gyro wrap. We also had a sparkling water by the name of mastica with mastica herbs infused. Delicious. Very good.
started.
My name is George. I'm one of the owners of Artopolis Cafe and Bakery. My partner Andre Papantonio and I purchased the business not too long ago from a wonderful lady who had established and opened the restaurant in 2000. Well, Greektown has been transitioning continuously. It's an evolving neighborhood. In the last 20 years, it's evolved such that there's a lot of gentrification, if you will. A lot of the restaurants, a lot of the Greek restaurants have left because those owners either retired or they sold. And 20 Greek establishments that were here 20 years ago, now it's down to maybe like 5. There's Nine Muses across the street, which is a phenomenal establishment. There's Meli, which is Greek-owned, which is a breakfast establishment. There's Athena restaurant, and they've been here for a while. There's Greek Islands, which is, I like to call Greek Islands as the anchor of Greektown. We want to offer something that's premium, something that's authentic, truly one of its kind.
What would you say the food from Greek that people should have here at Artopolis?
Yes, Greek salad with chicken, for example, char-grilled chicken, which is phenomenal. We have chicken sandwiches on focaccia or ciabatta bread. Very, very tasty sandwiches. We have nice portobello mushroom sandwiches. A lot of the pastries. So the pastries are what we consider to be, our most Hellenic, if you will, of our offerings. It's a taste of all of Greece. It's a taste of all of Greece. Artopita is a very big staple of Artopolis. In a filo dough, and inside you can have various types of cheeses or meats or vegetables. Specialty from this bakery, we've trademarked it. It's its own unique thing. Business ever since COVID has definitely been down. So the objective now for all businesses, especially in the hospitality industry, is the objective is not to make money, it's to not lose as much money. So safety first. Safety first. We need to be good and healthy in order for us to focus on any kind of business.
My name is Maria first, and I've been with them for over a year. And the mystic of this place is family atmosphere, more like a warm welcoming the customers and the people. Our traditional items are for the holidays, which is the New Year. It's basilopita. Our traditional cookies, which is purabiedes with almonds. Our melomacarona. You have kolurakia, the most lovely dip coffee cookie.
Okay.
And then our bottom line is our walnut baklava, almond, kadayıfı, galaktobureko, bugata, stuffed with a custard.
We ended our Greek tour and tasting with 3 exquisite Greek pastries. It was wonderful to meet George Reveliotti, the owner of Artopolis. He was kind enough to spend some time with us. So we talked a bit about the evolution of Greektown.
So the area is gentrifying.
Yes.
It's really, really changed a lot since the Greek Chicagoans moved into the area. So over the last 20 years or so, it's really been evolving and changing. His vision is to maintain a sense of Greece in Greektown, the authenticity. So with the food that they provide and the bakery that they have and the products that they have, certainly in collaboration with the restaurants in the area.
So they get a lot of product authentic from Greece. We tasted some of them. They also offered us actually some coffee, and the coffee is actually grown in Greece. It was delicious. And we could not live there without their signature dish. So today we brought Artopitas. We're going to show you. We have brought back 2 Artopitas. On the right-hand side here, we can see spinach and feta, savory pastries. And the second Artopita is the
It's the Greek Savory cheese and feta. So two cheeses in there.
So we're looking forward to tasting those. We also could not live without some dessert.
So the traditional Greek pastries, we picked two of them today. We did have some when we tasted them at the restaurant. The long skinny ones are cinnamon flavored, and they're called, I think I'm going to butcher the name. They're called smimieka. And the round ones are called the melochromana cookies. So we're eager to taste them and share them with you.
And finally,
not yes.
We also could not live without some wine. So we have here wine from Greece.
The wine is from the Drama region, which is one of the up-and-coming regions in Greece, as we learned while we were at Artopolis, where we picked up the wine. It's a beautiful, red wine Cabernet blend with also some Greek grapes in there. And the winery is the first winery in Greece that opened up producing high-quality wines. So, it's delicious. Cheers to that.
Cheer to Greece and Greektown. And hopefully you can join us and cheer with us.
And a celebration to certainly visiting the local Greek restaurants in your area.
I'm into those beautiful artopitas. It's heavy, actually. They look small, but they are really dense. So I can't wait to dig into mine. I'm digging into the spinach and feta.
And I'm going in for the feta and the Savory cheese. These are local specialties. This one is a creation. The artopita are a specialty from the restaurant. So puff pastries stuffed with cheeses, meats. So you'll find some with ham, chicken, or lots of vegetables like mushrooms. And then we got the cheese ones.
It's a bakery and they make everything on site. So it's really smell really good, the dough. So I can't wait to bite into it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. It's really fresh, tasty. Mm-hmm. I can taste the leek actually inside. It's spinach, but there's also some leek. So it's bring a fresh taste to the dough. It's delicious.
This is the cheese one, with two different kinds of cheese. So it's white on the inside. Has hints of mint. With the cheese. So it's also really interesting. So it's a nice blend of cheese flavors. If you're in the Chicago area, Greektown has 3 major events every year. Don't know how the schedule is going to change with COVID. But one of the most important festivities they have is around Greek Independence Day. And that's in about
April, May, typically. Mm-hmm.
And then there is Easter, which is also an important holiday for Greeks. So there are a lot of celebrations around that time. And then finally, there is a Greektown parade right on the streets of Halsted, the streets that we walked you through earlier. Mm-hmm. So there are dancers, there are all sorts of entertainment, restaurants opened up, a lot of specialties that are available on that day.
Is that the taste of...
Yeah, it's called the Taste of Greektown Chicago.
And that's typically in August. So do we want to taste also the pastries to finish?
Yes, we have some pastries. We talked about how we picked up the skinny cinnamon treats. So I'm going to go for this one, which is again one of the traditional Greek pastries.
And here I got the one with the little nuts on tops. It's a slightly oily and crumbly pastry. Mm. Mm.
So fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So fresh. This is perfect for coffee, dunking it in coffee. Mm-hmm. This is excellent.
It has some honey you can taste as well. It's sweet, but not extra sweet. It's just a nice combination of fat, sugar, and nuts. All what you can expect in sweets.
Make their pastries fresh. They're made daily at Artopolis restaurant and bakery. And so they're really exquisite. When we were there, and we've been there a few times now, there are always layers of pastries that have been sold out and run out. In Greektown, like many restaurants around the country and around the world, everyone is struggling to survive and to stay in business. This is a community that has strong roots in Chicago. And so one of the things that we wanted to do in showcasing Greektown today was about helping and supporting the local communities. So even in your areas, we encourage you to visit the local restaurants, support them, because that's the charm of the area. That's what makes the area so unique. We all need to come together during these times and support each other.
And if we cannot travel, we can always travel for food.
Right.
That's the beauty of we need food, and food can really
transport us.
Yes.
Yes, to different places around the world.